vinyl, the reason people go with it, they look at the price and they say, well, why wouldn't I just go with laminate instead of vinyl? So the water resistance is the key feature. Not only that, but the ease of installation. So the first thing is, if you're putting this down, if you're using laminate, you need a saw to cut everything. With this, it's just like drywall. You just need a knife, you score it, snap it, cut the skin, and then put it in place. It's also good because if you don't have a perfectly even floor, when you're putting it down, you can actually, it's got some flex to it. So if you don't have a perfectly even floor, it's a lot easier to get into each other because you can move it around a little bit. There's a couple things that customers are always confused by. The first one is, there is the wear layer and then there's the actual thickness of the board. So the thickness of the board is in millimeters. So there'll be 4 millimeters, 7.5 would be the thickest one we carry. The mil is thousandths of an inch. So you're talking about like the thickness of your fingernails. And so customers will be like, oh, well, it's 12 mil. And they think it's 12 millimeter, like with laminate. It's not, it's just gonna be the wear layer. So the way I tell customers, because it's not exactly the same as laminate where you have an AC rating. AC is the durability. I tend to go with, look at the warranty. And then, like I said, the biggest thing is the water resistance. So if they're doing a kitchen, they're doing a bathroom, they're doing the basement, anywhere where there could be water problems. The other example I use is in my parents' condo. They had this in their living room. They had a flood. They pulled up all the boards, they mopped the floor, they let the boards dry out, they put them down, and then they have to replace a single one. So that's huge for, especially this time of year when you talk to people about flooding. When you're putting it down with an underlay, some of them come with an underlay already on it. So there's a very select few, DuraClick, SmartCore. The rest of them, the underlay is going to be separate. So when they see a price and it's $3.49 and they see a price and it's $5, you let them know that it's 80 cents a square foot for the underlay. So if you're getting the underlay, you add that to that price and now you're getting closer to the $5. That's why that price is a little bit higher than the rest. You don't need an underlay. It's mostly about, if you're putting it down on concrete, it's about, do you want a little bit of sound insulation and do you want a little bit, it's not going to give you much thermal. It'll give you a little bit of thermal, a little bit of sound. It's not meant for cushion. So if you put too thick of a cushion down underneath the vinyl floor, because it's flexible, when you step on it, that seam might unbuckle. So that's why it's very dense. It's more for sound insulation. So what I tell customers is take a board home, put it down on the concrete, walk around it on your bare feet, see if you feel like it's cold, see if it makes too much noise. If you find it does, then you're going to want to go with the underlay. If not, you can put this down pretty much on anything. When I put it down on the tile in my parents' basement, they recommend 3/16, nothing more than 3/16 of an inch. So anything less than 3/16, so if you have a grout line and it's not too far recessed, you can put this down right on top of the tile and it won't take that tile over time. So yeah, that's, I mean, 2 years ago, when I started here in flooring, this was like 4 years ago as part-time, laminate outsold vinyl 2-to-1. Over the years it's caught up and now we're selling way more vinyl than we're selling of laminate because the versatility and of course the resilience of it.